South Ossetia is remembering the start of the 5-day war that swept through the republic exactly a year ago. It was in the early hours of August the 8th that Georgia began shelling, followed by a ground offensive in an attempt to regain control of the region. Special events commemorating those who died during the assault have been held across South Ossetia. Our correspondent Igor Piskunov reports from the capital, Tkhinval.
Well, as you can probably see, hundreds of people have gathered at the main square of Tkhinval to attend this commemoration ceremony dedicated to the victims of last August conflict. Air balloons were released into the air, symbolizing the souls of those killed by Georgian troops. I know it may seem like a concert, but nevertheless, the atmosphere here throughout the whole day is quite dim. Various commemoration ceremonies have been held throughout the city, including a service at Tkhinval's main cathedral. Dozens of families have also held private commemoration events, and this is going to continue for the next couple of days. Also, in the very center of the city, a genocide museum has been opened. It's actually located in this building, which is burnt and half destroyed. And there on display, there's photo reports and art reflecting the devastation that the South Ossetian people experienced last year, and also pieces of bombs, shells, and rockets which the Georgian army used while attacking South Ossetians, including pieces of cluster bombs, the use of which is condemned by the international community. Now, to tell you more about August the 8th, 2008, it was actually the first full day of the conflict here in South Ossetia. It was the day when Georgian troops, Georgian tanks were roaming through the South Ossetian capital, Tkhinval, and many people had to hide in basements, sheltering for several days, running out from time to time to get some food or medicine, as bullets were literally flying over their heads. And many South Ossetians were also trying to escape using the so-called Road of Life, which is one of the two routes that lead from Tkhinval to North Ossetia in Russia. And we're just now waiting for these balloons to be set up in the air, also in commemoration of the many victims of this conflict. I believe it could happen any moment now, but until it does, I may as well continue. And while these people were trying to leave South Ossetia using the Road of Life, they were actually attacked by Georgian troops, and many of them were killed as they were trying to flee. Of course, all of this is fresh in the people's memories, and the people also remember the fact that while all of this was happening, Western media was showing Georgian President Mikhail Saakashvili saying that Russia had launched an attack on his country. One of the first people to tell the truth about what really was happening in Tkhinval was actually an Ossetian girl who lives in California but visits South Ossetia every summer. Let's watch this report I've prepared earlier.
The statement that went around the world.
I just want to say that I was running from Georgian troops bombing our city, not Russian troops. I want to say thank you to the Russian troops that were helping us out.
Amanda Kakoeva was among the first people to tell a different story about last August conflict in South Ossetia, live on Western media. But it seems that this story was not really welcomed.
I want you to know to whom to blame on this conflict. That's Mr. Saakashvili, who started this war, and Mr. Saakashvili, who is aggressor. And 2,000 people were killed in one day, and that's what I am against.
I would never cut you off. Unfortunately, a commercial break will take us there in 4 seconds, whether we like it or not.
I know that you don't want to hear that.
I'll be right back with you. Stay by.
We can blame only one person, and Georgian government. I'm not blaming Georgian people. I'm blaming Georgian government, and he has to resign.
Well, that's certainly what the Russians want. If I had more time, you would get it, but I have but 5 seconds. Thank you both. The young girl's a hero in San Francisco, and understandably, there are gray areas in the
I understood that I was going against everything that the American people and the Georgian people were saying, that it was Russia's fault that the Georgian conflict began. And my aunt told me, she said, tell them all the truth, and I
did.
Amanda is from South Ossetia herself, but moved to California when she was 6 years old. She goes back every summer to visit her relatives and witness the beginning of the conflict with her own eyes.
I'm really proud of my granddaughter. She was not afraid to tell the truth about the conflict. She saw everything herself and wanted the world to know the truth.
After spending the night in a basement for shelter, Amanda was driven by her uncle to Russia, from where she flew back to the United States.
This is one of the two roads that lead from Tkhinval to North Ossetia. It was called the Road of Life since it was the only possible way out of the city during the first days of the fighting. Amanda took this route and managed to survive. But this memorial here is dedicated to those South Ossetians who weren't as lucky, killed by Georgian troops as they were trying to escape.
As Georgian tanks moved further into South Ossetia and the shelling continued, Western media showed President Mikhail Saakashvili saying Russia had launched an attack on his country. Some stations even showed footage of alleged Russian shellings on Georgia, when in reality it was the South Ossetian capital in flames caused by Georgian aggression. Russia still says it has extensive proof that Tbilisi was the aggressor. And according to Moscow, the supply of arms to Georgia is continuing and it may be preparing for new aggression. Yegor Piskunov, RT, Tkhinval, South.